People ask me how I got into kiteboarding, and I think I do it pretty much the same way everybody does. They fly a kite and they realize, oh my God. And I have a friend over at North Sports, which is affiliated with North Kiteboarding, and we got to talking, and he was interested in North being involved in kites, and we decided we were going to try to make sure that happened. He'd start the company and working with North Kiteboarding or with North Sales, parent company, and he asked me to find a kite designer. So we thought we'd find a kite designer, an Italian guy, and after 3 months of working with him, I was kind of stuck at the factory expecting to get kite designs from this Italian guy, and the designs didn't come, so I started trying to do it myself. But I'd had a lot of experience with windsurfing sales and sailing over the years, and I'd done a tremendous amount of reading on aerodynamics and yacht sales, and so I had a grounding in both theory and experience, and basically worked for 15 hours a day for 3 months, and finally got the first rhinos. One of the really interesting things about kites is kites like this have never been done before, ever, in history. I mean, kites are old and the idea of making kites is old, but the specific kind of kites we're doing are totally new. And so, as much as one may think one knows about aerodynamics and designing aircraft and boat sails and everything else, at the start of this process, nobody really knew what made a good kite. And so we've made dozens or even 100 kites a year, prototypes, just trying to figure out what's most important for handling, what's most important for speed, what's most important for turning, what's most important for bar feel. And we're getting to the point where we can make 2 prototypes that are exactly the same, but for some small difference in the shape of the canopy at 1 or 2 places. And we'll be able to feel that when we're on the water. Something like, right now the thick point is back at 60% back.
Yeah.
But suppose we wanted it 20% back.
Yeah.
Notice the shape change.
Okay.
The testing process is extremely time consuming, and I'm fortunate to have a lot of help there from Sky. I guess he's one of the few guys in the world that can be competitive on a course racing board. A couple of years ago he got, 4th in the course racing world championship, and the same time he was getting 2nd or 3rd in world level surf competitions. So he's got the ability to evaluate race equipment equally with surf equipment, and can also jump pretty well. So I'm fortunate that he has all those skills. When we test race gear, we might be grinding away on race boards for 3 or 4 hours, back to the beach, change something, back to the water, sailing some more to see what tweaks to the equipment are making it go better. And when we test wave kites, of course, Sky has a very good feel for what makes for a good wave kite. And so we're constantly going on the water, swapping kites, sailing on the water some more, adjusting the kites, and continuing that process pretty much nonstop. used to work in Hood River and Australia and Hawaii, and we were moving around and shipping kites and shipping boards, and there's a lot of overhead that got old, so we decided we were going to just spend more time on Maui.
So there's different ways that boards kind of come into existence. One of them is, that we come up with a concept, maybe collectively at North, and we say we want a board that's going to do something specific, and then we set about developing it. And I sit down on a computer. I have a 3D program where I'm able to sit down behind a computer screen, design, overlay different designs on top of a new design to see how designs compare. And from there, I create a 3D model. That basically just goes into an email, gets sent up to the CNC factory here in Maui that I work with, and they cut the board on the CNC machine. From there I just come up here and I hand finish it and kind of add my own little creative spin on it. And having the opportunity to actually play with so many boards and be able to experiment with so many different things is like a dream for me. That's kind of what I always wanted to do. My favorite part of the whole design process is actually when I get to get my hands on the board and physically shape the board and sort of put my own little personal touch, and then I'm able to throw the board right in the water, get out and ride it, and feel if the changes that I've made are doing what I wanted them to do and what other changes might be necessary for the future. The big difference between the prototype boards that I'm developing here on Maui and the final finished product that we're getting from our factory in Asia is the construction. So the boards that I'm developing here on Maui are purely just to get the final shape. So it's just a prototyping process to finalize and tune in on the final shape. So the big difference when we actually have our final production boards is that we're able to utilize materials like carbon and negra, bamboo tech, cork, all of these different layups that go into the boards to give them that magic feel, and also allow them to last much, much longer and have a way longer lifespan than a standard polyurethane board that you would get from a hometown shaper.